Welcome to DU Digimon.
Hello and welcome to DU Digimon and welcome to our first BT17 deck profile. If you're liking this content, please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel and ding that notification bell so you're not missing out on any of the latest content. The first deck we will be looking at is Omnimon. So this is a deck that I have been so excited for. I've wanted a DNA deck for WarGreymon and MetalGarurumon to go into Omnimon for so freaking long, and we've finally got it. If you're in America, if you're in the UK, it's not arrived yet, it's delayed again. But anyways, this time, unlike with BT16, I've thought ahead, so I've thought about kind of doing the deck profiles, and we'll be exploring some of the decks that the others in the team are also looking to play as well, though unfortunately we won't be doing it with them, it will be me talking about them, so hopefully I can do them justice. But anyways, Omnimon, let's get into it. So the eggs I've got 5 eggs, 4 of the BT14 Koromon just for that cheeky draw from the security. So whenever a security is revealed, then we draw a card. And then we've also got the Koromon from BT9 that gives you the 1000 DP to Greymons and Omnimons, which is quite applicable to quite a few of our effects and a few of our things that we want to do. Next, we've got the rookies. So we've got the BT17 Ogumon, start of main. If you've got a Tamer with Tai in its name, which all of our Tamers have Tai in their name, you get to return an Omnimon, Garurumon or Greymon from your trash to the hand, which is really cool, and then has an end of turn inheritable where you DNA Digivolve into a Digimon in your hand, which is good. Then the BT17 Gabumon, very similar, has a start of main. However, this one, if you've got specifically Matt, you draw 1 card, which is good for your consistency, and then end of turn has that same DNA inheritable, which is pivotal to the strategy. Next are for the rookies, these are kind of give us a bit more consistency. We've got the Ogremon from BT12, which will reveal the top 4 cards of the deck and add 1 Digimon card with Greymon or Omnimon in its name and 1 Tamer card with Tai in its name among them to your hand. So that adds all of our Tamers and a lot of our pieces for the overall strategy. It doesn't add any of our Garurumons obviously, so I was really tempted to add some of the like the EX4 stuff instead, but then we couldn't add the Tamers, and it's like you know, trying to figure that stuff. But in terms of consistency, nothing beats Ukomon from BT16. Start of the kind of whenever you're moving out of the breeding area, so whether it be itself or another Digimon, you get to search top 3, add a Digimon or Tamer, so that lets us add the things that BT12 Ogumon can't. Next is our only champion, which is the Greymon from BT17. I'm hoping to pull well and get 4 of this. When digivolving, if you have Koromon in your name, and we'll get to why that's applicable later, you essentially get to add 3000 DP to yourself, and then also kind of delete one of their Digimon with DP equal or less to you, which is pretty good, kind of clearing an 8k off of the board. All turns, when this Digimon gains the name of every Digimon underneath it, so that's why the Koromon thing comes into play. It can gain the name Koromon from the things underneath it, as it will also be called Ogumon, which is why I've also thought about potentially putting it in normal Greymon, because you could have it be named Ogumon and then digivolve into Ogumon X and create just a massive stack, which I think is really funny, and I want to try that at some point. Next we go into our level 6s, so we've got no level 5s in this deck. We've got, I'm going to talk about the BT17 stuff first. So we've got the BT17 WarGreymon, which essentially both the BT17 level 6s can reduce their cost if you've got Tai or Matt in play, which is really, really cool. Depends on which Digimon, of course. Then they both have an on play, and that on play is a branching on play, and you can do one of 2 things. With WarGreymon, you delete an 8000 DP or less Digimon, which is really cool, or you warp one of your Gabumon into MetalGarurumon. I believe it's specifically a Garurumon in name, but obviously just for our purposes, MetalGarurumon. Then the MetalGarurumon has similar effect, so you get to either choose one of your opponent's Digimon to not suspend for until the end of their turn, or you warp an Ogumon into WarGreymon. Then if you've got the right inheritables, that lets you then DNA into Omnimon and win, in theory. Next we've also got the other level 6s, so the kind of the older ones. We've got the BT14 WarGreymon. When digivolving, this Digimon gains Raid, and then also when attacking gets Security Attack +1 and Piercing if you've got a Tamer, I believe specifically with Tai in the name, on the field. It could also warp from Ogumon for if they've got a 10,000 DP or less Digimon in play. So that could be pretty cool for your DNA stuff. Going into that. Then we've also got the BT15 MetalGarurumon, which has the same kind of warping effect as BT14 WarGreymon. It has evade. It stops 3 of your opponent's Digimon from suspending, and then believe when it would be suspended, you unsuspend it, I believe. I would need to double check that. Probably should have double checked it before we started filming. Oh well. Next is the level 7s. So first of all, we'll talk about the star of the show, Omnimon Ace. This card is baller. It's so cool. It has raid and block it inherently. DNAs from WarGreymon and MetalGarurumon as a blast DNA or just in general. On play when digivolving, if you're DNA digivolving, you choose one of your opponent's Digimon and then return it and any Digimon with the same level back to the bottom of the deck, which is awesome. Super thematic, because that's, what it basically did against Diaboromon. It selected a Diaboromon, it returned them all to the deck and killed the last one. So it's really, really cool, and also quite good potentially against stuff like Numamon, which does often have boards made up of Digimon with the same level, so potentially really good. Then as a follow-up, it will then delete a Digimon of your choosing, so basically means that you can clear the board, return them all to the bottom of the deck, and then if there are any survivors, you make them unalive, which is really good. Then moving on to our other level 7s, we've got Omnimon Alter B. This, when digivolving, you de-digivolve 3, one of your opponent's Digimon, and then you delete their Digimon up to a play cost of 6, so you can pretty much always guarantee you're going to delete the thing that you de-digivolved. Then, when attacking, by trashing up to 3 level 6s from your sources, which is pretty much always guaranteed, because you've managed to DNA up into Omnimon and then go into this, you are then going to choose the lowest play cost Tamers and Digimon that your opponent has and delete them, as well as also trash 2 security off of their stack. So really good as a game ender. Obviously bear in mind that you need to use this specifically as a game ender, because if you're removing Omnimon Ace from your stack, you will trigger overflow and return turn back to the opponent, and level 7s have got a pretty hefty overflow price, so you definitely want to be avoiding that. Then our next level 7 is Omnimon Merciful Mode. Now this is more of a local meta pick for me, because we've got quite a few 7 Great Demon Lords players, so I figured this might be a good way of kind of messing with those. When digivolving, for each of the level 6s in your stack, you delete one of your opponent's Digimon. Then you place 10 cards from your opponent's trash to the bottom of their deck, so potentially could mess up the 7 Great Demon Lords plans. Then start of your turn, you trash the top of their security attack stack to then trash you trash the top of your this Digimon stack to trash the top of your opponent's security stack. Sorry, I'm in such a rush because I'm on my lunch break and I'm not using my brain. Next is Omnimon X Antibody from BT10. Reason I put this in is kind of purely as a potential other game ender. I think obviously I honestly a second copy of Alter B would probably be better, but this could potentially wipe any of the board that is left after Omnimon Alter Ace has done its thing. So if there have been any survivors, or if they've managed to get any recursion from on deletion effects or anything like that, then potentially this can kind of clear the board again. Then also when attacking / when digivolving, you are going to reveal the top of your security, you reveal the opponent's security and get rid of one. So if they've only got one left, you could get rid of that security to then swing for game. So that's the kind of the thought process there. Then you've got the Tamers, so we've got 4 copies of the Tamer map from BT17. When one of your Digimon is played or digivolves by suspending this Tamer, if you have a Greymon in play, you gain 1, and if you've got a Garurumon in play, you gain 1. So potentially gaining 2, which is really handy if you've passed turn and you've got WarGreymon and MetalGarurumon on the board, because then means you're just leaving them on a little less memory than what you were leaving them on. Then end of your turn, one of your Digimon with Omnimon may attack a player, which is really cool. Obviously, because Omnimon's got the raid, it could potentially redirect and everything there. So really, really cool. Next, we've got the Matt and Tai from EX4. I've mainly done this to give us another red and blue source because of one of our options. This one, when you play a Gabumon or Ogumon by suspending this Tamer, gain 1 memory, so that's pretty cool. It does mean that one of your cards that you've got in the deck you potentially play for 1 instead of 2. Again, that's that red and blue option down below. Then your turn, when one of your Digimon digivolves, if you have 1 or fewer Digimon in play, you can play a Gabumon if that Digimon had Greymon in its name, and you could play a Ogumon if that Digimon had Garurumon in its play without in its name without playing the cost. So just helps you with playing out more bodies in general, and is a nice little tool for us to use. Then we've got 4 copies of Tai Kamiya and Kari Kamiya. With the all turns when something is hatched in the breeding area, you then get to gain a memory, which is really, really cool. Then you've also got the end of turn effect, where essentially you get to return this Tamer to the bottom of the deck, draw 1, and then play out another Tamer that has either Tai or Kari in the name. Really, really good stuff there for the consistency and for kind of cheating stuff out. Also to be mentioned, there are some other ways of cheating out Tamers in this deck, like the on deletion effect of the Greymon from BT17 that I did not mention, which is also a on deletion when it is being itself, and an on deletion as an inheritable, but we're never going to use the inheritable, so there you go. That's probably why I forgot it. Next, we've got the Miraculous Mega Knight 4 copies. This card is kind of bonkers. It's like the first trap card in Digimon, which is crazy. You play it out. Obviously, you've got to have a red and blue source, so that's where our ties and mats come in. You get to play out a Gabumon or an Ogumon without paying the cost, and then put this in the battle area. Then what happens is, if your Greymon or your MetalGarurumon were to leave the battle area for any reason, you then get to DNA into Omnimon instead, which is awesome. So basically, you can punish your opponent for deleting one of your things, which is really, really, really cool. Also has a great security effect of being able to cheat out a tie and mat from hand or trash, and then adds itself to the hand. So really cool. It kind of sets itself up if it's hit in security. Then the last card we have in the deck is just a flex spot, which is Crimson Blaze. Does what it says. As long as you've got a red, you can play it out. Reduces its cost for the amount of Digimon that your opponent has. Delete anything with 6,000 DP or less, and then they can't play anything by effect. So it can potentially stall things out, which is really cool. But that is the deck. Sorry for all the cuts. I've had knowledge issues, camera issues, because my brain is tired, and I'm hoping you guys still enjoyed this profile. Let me know what you think of the profile. Let me know if you guys are playing Omnimon, or if you think it's big stinky poo poo and you're playing something else. I don't think it's big stinky poo poo. I think it's going to be great, and possibly going to be my favorite deck from BT17 onwards. We'll see. But obviously we won't get that until the 16th of August now in the UK. Thank you, Asmodee, yet again. Let me know, guys, if you want to see a video kind of documenting the terrible experience we have in the UK with things being delivered on time, because frankly it's not the first time and it makes me tired and upset. But anyways, like, subscribe, ding that notification bell for any of the latest content so you're not missing it, and we'll see you again. But until next time, keep it digital.